All right, friends, for this video, you're going to need your math notebook, the paper and construction paper that I sent home, pencil, scissors, and a glue stick. So go ahead and go get that. If you don't have it at home, then get as much as you have, and you can do the rest in class in the morning. Okay, so remember we were talking about our savings options, which is putting money aside for the future. And in class today, we started talking about how some savings options provide interest, like the bank will pay you interest if you save money in a savings account. So that's what we're going to talk about today, or continue talking about. I'm going to go ahead and put that paper over to the side. You need the construction paper first, and you're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to cut in half, but don't go all the way up. See how I left like a little slit, about a little bigger than my finger, maybe like my thumb. Then you're going to cut this side in half, same thing, leave about a thumb space, and this side. So then you have fourths with about a thumb space in between, and you're only cutting on the top flap. Okay, so go ahead and do that real quick. So at the top where we left that thumb space, go ahead and write weekly allowance. And then on the first flap, we're going to do spending. On the second flap, we're going to do saving. On the third flap, we're going to do save for college, even though, yes, that's saving, but we're saving for something special because you're all going to college. And then sharing. So go ahead and do those real quick. So now we're going to flip all the flaps up for just a second. And at the bottom, you're going to write weekly allowance equals $20. I'm giving you a, well, no, I changed my mind. Sorry. I'm giving you a weekly allowance of $50 because all of you get paid at least $50. Some of you get more, but you each get at least $50. Then what I want you to do is I want you to go through and put how you would save, share, or spend each one. So how much would you set aside for spending? How much would you set aside for saving? How much would you set aside for saving for college? And how much would you share? So you're just going to open your flap and you're going to write a complete sentence. You're just going to fold it up like this. So just fold up the flap and complete sentence. I would spend $20 each week on food and other items. So if my weekly allowance is $50 and I'm spending $20 for the week, I'm only left with $30. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do the rest of it. So go ahead and fill yours out because yours is going to be different than mine. They're all going to be different because we're all doing our own. Yours is going to be different than mine, which is going to be different than people at your table group. So fold up each flap and do your weekly allowance. Go ahead and do that now. So you should have something under spending, saving, save for college, and sharing. Once you have that, you're going to need to get your glue stick and then get your personal financial literacy book. Go ahead and get that now. Your personal financial literacy book, we're going to open up to the first flap right here on the left, and we're going to turn it sideways so now it's at the bottom. Then I want you to go ahead and get the flip chart that you just made with your weekly allowance and flip it over to the back where the flaps are not. And then go ahead and we're going to glue that down onto the flap like this. Uh-oh, be careful. You don't want to rip yours. So that then when you open your personal financial literacy book, your weekly allowance is your first flap. So go ahead and do that real quick. When you're done with that, you can set your personal financial literacy book to the side. You can go ahead and turn to page 164 and 165. Today in our notebook, we glued down our saving options chart and we made our note for interest. So if you haven't finished that, go ahead and pause and do that now. What we're going to do is what's going to be on 165 today, which is our savings options, which is this page right here. So get it in your pencil if you need to. If you look at the directions, it says using your savings option chart, name one advantage and one disadvantage for each savings option for each of Connor's goal statements. So like it's going to give you a statement like this one. Connor wants to buy a bicycle in 1 year. So you're going to have to pay attention. He's buying a bicycle and he wants to do it in 1 year. So you're going to use this saving options chart, this chart over here. So if he wants to buy a bicycle in 1 year, you're going to write one advantage that he would have for a savings account. Then one disadvantage. So what's one good thing about a savings account if he's wanting to buy a bicycle in a year? And what's one disadvantage, one bad thing for if he wants to buy a bicycle in a year? Then you'll do the same thing for certificate of deposit right here. What's one good thing for buying a bicycle in a year? One bad thing for wanting to buy a bicycle in a year. Then same thing for money market account and individual retirement account, which is an IRA. So one good thing about each one bad thing about each one. And you'll just write it in the blanks. Then you'll do the exact same thing, but this time Connor is a 4th grader and wants to start saving for college. So what's a good thing about each one of these options for saving for college? What is a bad thing about each one of these options for saving for college? Okay, then right here, choose one of the statements above. So either Connor wants to buy a bike in 1 year or Connor is a 4th grader and wants to start saving for college. You're going to choose one of those. What advice would you give Connor about which saving option to use for his goal? So what's some advice that you would give him? Which one of these would you tell him to choose and why? When you're done with that, we're going to fold it in half like so. And you can just tuck it into 165. If you have tape at home, you can just tape it down. If not, then just tuck it in and you can tape it tomorrow when you come in. That's all for tonight. I hope you have a great night and I will see you tomorrow.